I share from my heart, but a lot of people don't know how to respect me for that. And because of what I've been through, I let people go from my life or from potentially coming deeper into my life to prevent them from hurting me. A lot of women out there don't know how to respect good men. Older women and younger women. I didn't say all, but I do believe a majority and nearly all of the women that I have come across. But I do believe that women are capable of loving other men on a deeper level more than they're capable of loving me. I'm on the non-materialistic path. I live in an RV. It doesn't make sense for a guy like me to approach or chase women of today's world. They have wholeheartedly rejected me for who I am. So until I see someone that shows me empathy and basic compassion, what's the point of chasing random women unless you have a secret agenda to get laid and only to get laid? And if that's your drive, then you're not a full man. And there's a younger woman who I found to be the most attractive woman that I've ever seen in many years. And I believe she's Hispanic. I don't know where she lives, but she added me a few weeks ago and was very critical of my recent video in the sense of, you just can't wait for a good woman to find you. It's not going to happen. So what are you saying? I have to go randomly? See, that's the problem when you let people into your personal world and you share personal information. They think that they can basically crap on what you're saying. They're not doing anything on YouTube to express themselves. Those women aren't doing anything. A lot of women aren't doing anything but consuming other content from other people. They're not creating their own quality content. And they yield to the ways of the man's world, to the man's everything about it. And yet, even though they control so much, they ultimately yield to the alpha male because that's how they're wired, like a light switch. And I've been saying that we're in a fallen planet, that this is not the real reality. By living our lives the way that we have lived for so long, and our parents, we're not evolving. We're not evolving. Women are not evolving yet. They're not evolving to where they're upset with the injustices overseas at the hands of their own government, to where they're willing to go out and grab a hold of a man in a positive sense, not to use him or abuse him, but to hold on to a good man once they find him and not let him go. Someone that actually wants to raise awareness about the issues that are taking place. It broke my heart to let her go, but I wasn't even about to get into an argument with this person because this little girl was not empathetic enough to understand how many women have thrown me in the garbage. People I have sought out, people I have given my attention to. They have no remorse throwing a human being in the garbage. And nobody taught me what that was like more than my own mother. No one. No one taught me what that was more like and more easier to do than my own mother. Here's how you let your child here's how you just, and then the women that I met later on in life, just the evil, the pure evil. Use a man for sex, if even that, or something else, and throw him away. And yet women think that it's in their nature to sit by and wait for a hard cock to chase them, one that they like. I mean, that's energy vampirism. And the hotter a young woman is, the more likely it is that she will become an energy vampire, where everything is about being entertained by the confident man who wants to come play a game with you to get you know what. Young women that are not fully matured are the easiest to fall prey to that type of a world. And a lot of them will end up with a lot of kids really quickly. Once they find a man who is willing to entertain them, who is super confident, who knows how to juggle really well, and go da 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 da. And then they can start cranking them out. And maybe they'll go their whole lives without cranking out the babies, and they'll just go from cock to cock to cock to cock, being entertained by the confident douchebag men of today's world. Meanwhile, insulting those men and telling them, giving them advice that is not solicited. It isn't until women evolve to becoming their own confident female. See, what you have to do is establish that you're worth it, that you're not just another energy vampire who is beautiful on the outside and yet corrupted on the inside by that beauty in a way. Because once a young woman sees how much attention she can get from a man, empty, free attention, especially over the internet, it's off to the races for her. It hurt a lot to let this person go. But once a woman does that and starts saying that literally, like, you need to give me attention, or women, your loneliness is your own problem. It's like they act like they respect me as a teacher, but they don't. Because they only want to learn what they want to learn, and they want to throw the rest in my face. They don't understand, and they don't want to understand. And they don't know how to respect a good man and keep a good man around. All they know is how to attract the men that want to play them for their bodies. And that's all they're going to get until their intuition grows and they're able to see the value in a man that doesn't just chase random women. They're able to understand why a man keeps it in his pants and doesn't get on the dating lists and doesn't get involved, and especially when they're on a path of presenting truth and discussing things that most women aren't interested in. They don't acknowledge that. Women do not acknowledge that their own sex has no interest in what men like me do, whether we have money or we don't have money. They do not acknowledge the pain and suffering we have been put through because of who we are. All they know is they're hot, they're good looking, and I'm, I guess, maybe okay looking to them. Maybe better looking than some other people, but I certainly don't have any money, and I certainly don't have any home, and I certainly obviously live in an RV, and I don't understand what's attractive about that. So how do you go with confidence and start chasing people around with an RV unless you're some weird dog that will just have some inflated sense of ego and will do anything just to get laid? Where are the real women out there in this day and age willing to work with a man to build a business, to build that income, to build that home from the get-go? When you find a quality man, you don't hurt his feelings, but you actually say something to develop a connection. You actually say something to develop a bond. And then you maintain that bond. You don't say hurtful things. It took guts and it took a sense of strength to let this person go, because people like that will hurt your feelings. People like that will say things only for their own gain. And I don't want to agree with the idea that all women are like this. I just feel like I'm trapped on a hell right now, on a hell planet where nobody can see me and no one understands why. I don't just operate like a typical guy. I stick to myself and I go, where is the love? Where are the real females that have their own confidence, their own voice, their own message? Where are the women that will actually respect me as a teacher, provider of information, and not send me some sort of an inbox message saying I've got it all wrong? Somehow or another, in their own minds, they're getting some sort of satisfaction from that, because they're not making me feel good. It's Christmas time. Women are real good at kicking below the belt and saying shit that they probably shouldn't when it's Christmas time. I'm Alex Ansary, coming to you December something rather, at the end of the year 2015. I'll talk to you later.